Hello, 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 hello. Hi, everyone. It is Thursday. It's 11:38 p.m. and we're live. Hopefully, everyone's having a good day so far today. Today marks the end of the first day of Gen Con Online. I figured I'd come on for a little bit, talk about my experiences so far, whether they're good, bad, and different, all kinds of things. So we'll go from there. Basically, what I used to do every Gen Con. It's just we're applying it to the online format now because of obvious reasons that Gen Con is taking place online only this year because of the Backstreet Boys World Tour. So we're going to go with that. Before we get into anything else, let me say thank you to some pretty awesome people. First and foremost, Lavi Fur, Bloogum Mom, and Pyro Pixie. Thank you guys so much for the host. It is truly appreciated. I know usually we play games on this channel, but everything changes when it comes to Gen Con. Oh my god. I mean, I will say this much. Gen Con Online. Oh god. Oh, I have so many things I want to talk about. Holy shit. I wrote notes. Like, I literally wrote notes because I was just like, yeah, there's a lot of things I want to talk about. The good news is, I did not have to smell con funk for the first time ever going to a con. That's right, I didn't have to smell sweaty, non-showered nerds. Please, God, take a shower anyway, even though you're home. And if you don't, that's your own fault. Alright. So, where are we going to start off with? Let me get the YouTube set. So we can have some background music playing while we're talking about this. New NCS song today. That's kind of badass. New song is I'm Fine. Yeah, but I'll so things we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the characters that I'm going to be running this weekend so far, as they are planned. How today's missions went. What we did today, and just some, if you're watching for the first time and you haven't started your Gen Con Online experience and you're watching at home, just so you know, you can still sign up for a Gen Con Online badge and try and get into some events. They're actually, very economical. Some of them are free, some of them are like $2, some of them are a little bit more. But at least it's something, if you want to try RPGs, you want to try gaming, you want to try any of that stuff, the badge is free. Free. That's right. And you know what they say, anytime something is free, it's for me. Okay. So there we go. There we go. Alright, so let's start this up nice and quiet, like. That's loud. Just want something in the background. You know what? Let's try something else. It's okay. Guess we could try this. Yeah, this works. Alright, so let's start with the basics. So today, for Gen Con Day 1, we participated in Pathfinder Society, played a mission with that. The first opening slot that we were able to get into was the afternoon slot. It didn't seem like there was many morning slots, which was kind of weird. I think they were just assuming most people would not be available because it's going to be at home. Also, a lot of the slots, there seems to be no like really late slots either. I'm assuming they're basing it off of what they experienced with PaizoCon and Origins. Both of them were cons that were handled before Gen Con, and gave them some eye-opening experiences. You could definitely tell they've come up with some strategies from them. Unfortunately, Gen Con did put a monkey wrench in for them, so we'll get into that. But let's talk about the first scenario. So the first scenario we played was Pathfinder Society. It was our lower level characters that we were playing. Today's character that I was playing was Cull the Kobold Monk, where basically he's a kobold monk, and he has accepted his role as being part dragon, and so he has fire attacks, breathe fire, all kinds of fire things, because that's just his thing. And my crowning achievement from the entire mission was explaining to someone why to do something better by using a storyline from Pathfinder 1 about the sewer dragons. The sewer dragons were the kobolds underneath Absalon. Basically, like, just like a side story thing of just like using this story as an example of why they should do what, what I'm suggesting. And I was really glad that, like, they were like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. But yeah, Cull the Kobold Monk. Long story. To give you an idea about him as a character, let me bring him up so that way I have him so I can see him, because it's easy. It's easier if I can see the character. Let's bring this over here. Bring that over there. Bring this over here. Okay, cool. So Cull the Kobold Monk. I gave him, if you don't know what this is, it's Pathfinder version 2. So there was a lot of things that they changed from version 1 to version 2. A lot of things that I enjoy. The biggest example I can give, in my first game with Cull, there was 3 monks, including him. Each monk fought completely different. In today's mission with Cull, there was another monk, and even he played different than the other monks. So that's 4 different types of monks that were built, all lower levels. So it's like kind of cool, like that a lot of the classes allow you like this freedom to build what you want to build, which is kind of cool. When more and more books come out and they add more feats, I think it's going to become even hashed out even further, which is kind of cool. But to give you the background about Cull, so Cull is a gold spell scale kobold. So basically he is of gold dragon ancestry. He's spell scale, so he holds some of the draconic magic still in his veins. His background is he's a Shadow Lodge defector. So if you don't know what the Shadow Lodge is, Shadow Lodge was a bad group of people back in the original days of Pathfinder, who wound up trying to destroy the Pathfinder Society. And so the thing is, he's a kobold, and kobolds in Pathfinder 1 were kind of shunned and made fun of and not allowed to be part of Pathfinder Society. Even the sewer dragons, which were trying to help out Absalon, even they were shunned to a degree. And so I made Cull as basically the Shadow Lodge, who was trying to do all these really tricky, evil things, turn to the kobolds and were like, we'll welcome you. You're a friend of ours. And so my character got swept into being accepted and started following him. And then finally, when he started seeing the bad, evil things that they were doing, is when he defected back to the Pathfinder Society. And so that's why, like, he's trying to, like, in his mind, he's trying to make up for all the evil that he assisted with. Even though he never did any of these evil things, he was still a member of it. And so that's why he's a Shadow Lodge defector. But he's a pretty fun character. I'm really enjoying him as a character. He's fun to play with. He has absolutely no guile to be on the front line in versions of, like, trying to, like, be the face. Like, so, like, I'm like that. I told that story about, the sewer dragons and what they did. And the one guy who was like our face, who's like, oh, you want me to aid you? I'm like, no. You finished out the entire logic and finished out. I'll aid you. And the whole reason being is there's no way I can even aid because I'm -1 charisma and have no points in diplomacy. And so you need a 20. And the highest I can get is 19. So even if I rolled a crit, I still fail. How's that for some shit? Even a crit fails. That's how bad that is. But yeah, I really did enjoy him. But that's the whole thing. Is he's been sheltered and not been able to be, able to like join in or be friendly with people. So. But lo and behold, it was actually like a really enjoyable mission. There was one forced encounter. I'm not going to mention the mission or anything like that because I don't want to give away spoilers. Hashtag spoilerless. I'm not going to give away spoilers for the things that we were part of, but there was one forced encounter, and then the rest of the game, it was built that you were able to play through and attempt to not have combat. Or you could have gone full murder hobo and just started attacking everyone. It could have gone either way. Thankfully, our team went with the nice approach, like trying to be friendly, trying to broker peace in this society. I was very happy to see that. I have played with the tables of people that had murder hobos, that their entire goal was just murder, death, mayhem, do whatever the hell they wanted, And I'm not a fan of those tables. I'm really not. Because, like, even when I play characters that are, like, borderline murder hobos, I still don't even play them like murder hobos, Like, they're still attacked behind who and what they are, So that's Cull in a nutshell. And so, like, I was really happy that... Now, the only problem is that I could see with, like, anytime you have, like, where 90% of the entire mission can be handled by a good face, is at points sometimes during this mission, it did wind up being the one guy talking the entire time, with most people just sitting on the sidelines and watching him do his thing and rolling dice. Which is why, to a degree, I was jokingly, but semi not joking, hoping that he would roll a one with a couple of these diplomacies, so that way bullshit would start breaking out, and like people who are built themselves for combat, or people who built themselves for things other than just being a face, would be able to like participate. So although I do enjoy missions that give the option to avoid combat, I feel like... So the slot's supposed to take 4 hours. We finished in 2.5 hours because we diplomanced our way through the entire scenario. Bless me. It's scenarios like that where I wish that the scenario would throw in like an optional encounter. So like every scenario should have optional encounter if you're at this point and you're at this time, because they've diplomanced their entire way. I don't care, just group of ruffians, I don't like that you're messing with our people, or some shit, just like something to like for your martial characters or arcane wizards, stuff like that, so that way they can like have that second combat, so that way it breaks up the monotony of just one dude talking the entire time, one or two dudes. Like I was trying to interject as Call of the Kobold multiple times to try and assist because I wanted to talk. I wanted to be part of the thing. But at the same point, like, I wasn't helping this guy at all. Like, there was a couple times we came close to me actually hurting him. And it was just like, it was bad. It was bad. But like, I wanted to participate in it. And so that's where things sat. So then that's when we ended there. That's when the people I'm participating in Gen Con Online with is people from this community. So we have Sir Ian Lafferty, who is a sub of the channel right now and a follower. He's a friend of mine from our Pathfinder Society group that we have at the comic book shop, Comic Fusion, which they're badasses. If you do live in New Jersey, make sure you look up Comic Fusion. It's run by a guy named Bill. Bill has the hugest heart and will do anything for anyone. So all the love for Bill at Comic Fusion. I will give him shout outs whenever whenever I can, because they're badasses. And also the other one is Simdoc. Simdoc is the other one that we are currently playing a bunch of games with. So the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we're going to start with the ugly. things that bothered me the most about Gen Con Online so far is there are people that do not understand mic etiquette. And by that, what I mean is, generally speaking, mic etiquette consists of this. Do not have a giant bag of Doritos and slam it in your back of your gullet with an open mic. It's at that point where you're just like, come on, man, just put a push to talk on so you can eat all the Ho-Hos and Fritos and everything you want, and I don't have to hear you know, so it's just like you know, so that's the ugly. The ugly is I want people to have more. The more people get involved with stuff like this, the more that people will then become like learn this mic etiquette. I mean, when I first started streaming, I didn't have any friggin' mic etiquette. I would have a freaking thing of tacos in front of me, and I'd be like playing League, and be like, and then like after like about a month or so, and I started playing Rebikes, I'm like, oh god, you know what I did? I would mute myself and kill my camera because I understand mic etiquette is key. So that's, if there's one thing I could bestow on everyone that's at Gen Con, is please learn some goddamn mic etiquette. Holy shit. The bad is what I thought was going to wind up happening, which was that there was quite a few people in our groups that have no mic or is using like the laptop mic, you know, because like they've never used the chat functionality before. They've never had a reason to have a decent mic. And so like there's this part of me that wishes that if you know you're going to get involved with a online role-playing game, I'm not telling you to spend thousands of dollars. You don't need this ridiculous sound setup that like I have. You know, like I'm not telling you to have some super duper mega like sound system. But there's nothing stopping for you from going to Home Depot, going to Best Buy and getting like one of those like cheap Logitech headphones with the swing out mic. You know, they're built for travel, come in the hard case. I'm not even talking expensive ass like mic and headset. Just a nice cheap $20 travel headset. I have one over here. It doesn't sound great, but it's a hell of a lot better than the onboard mic and hearing the vrooming of the fan from someone's computer spooling up. There was one person that had that going on today, and so I wound up having to reduce their volume because the vrooming of the engine of the mic was just like, I mean, thankfully, it's not that bad. Now, the part of me also wants to say, make sure you have a stable internet connection, some kind of stable internet connection. But I also understand Gen Con is worldwide, so it's kind of hard to be like, have a stable internet connection before you get on the f***ing game. You know, like, I was trying to find my beep button. You know, like, all I want is like, I'm not going to ask you to have because you know what, if you have, you know, issues brought on by internet, we can work through that. If you don't have any, you know, if you don't have video and all that, audio doesn't use much data, so usually you can power through it. But having a shit mic, you could have amazing fiber optic, the best internet in the world, T3 lines coming in. You could have server room with like Google like just dumping a freaking fiber line into your computer, you know, straight into the Google server fiber, and just like, yeah, my up and down speed's 2 terabits. You know, it's just like, doesn't matter if your audio sucks. And it's easy. It's an easy fix. It really is an easy fix. $20. You go to the Best Buy. You get that silly $20 Logitech flip down little mic travel headset. I got it right here. Where's that? I'm screwing up my green screen. Screwing up the green screen. Oh god. All right, I don't have it right here right now. I've moved it, so it is gone. It is gone. I probably put it up finally because I didn't need it this year. But yeah, it's like $20. It's not that bad. You know, and then that little bit right there just it helps out so much. You know, and so like I'll give you an example. Let me see if I can do this real quickly. Let me advanced audio properties. Oh my god. I haven't done this in a long time. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do this right now. But basically, like, I was about to, like, throw it on, like, my laptop mic. I wonder if I can do it this way. Audio. Yeah, I have it. It's not there. It is long gone. I have disabled the shit out of that and enabled to re-enable all that just so you guys can hear how shitty it sounds. But that's the bad. The good is I had a great table. I had a bunch of players that were there to have a good time. I had zero rules lawyering. Like, there was not a single person, you know, stomping their feet about how, you know, the rules are supposed to work this way. Thank God. Nothing bothers me more than when you're playing a role-playing game and then all of a sudden someone comes out of their freaking, out of the wood chipper and just, like, starts rules lawyering. Oh my God. Dude, let the GM make the decision, converse about it afterwards. We're in fantasy land right now. Have fun. After the game, when the game's closed, then have a conversation about it. Because then you can at that point, the GM might be able to pull back the curtain a little bit and go, the reason why this went this way was because of X. This thing you didn't know was going on is the reason why Y happened. At the time, during the middle of the mission, the GM might not be able to tell you what's going on. And so that's why, like, anytime I've had any issues with rules or whatnot that are going on, I usually go, okay, GM made the call. I'll sit on this. At the end, we'll talk. And so I'm eternally grateful that we didn't have any rules lawyers going off. I mean, then again, we only had like 2 or 3 rounds of combat before combat ended. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 encounters that were all diplomatically based, where we were diplomancing our way through everything. Technically, we had a 6th encounter when we all attempted, oh my god, we all attempted to obtain information in the town. Every single player failed. No one. No, the whole town just was like, who are you guys? And just ignored us. It was funny as shit. It was just like, shit. So that was the good. The good was we had a really good table, really bunch of good players. It seemed like all the players that were there to have a good time. And so I'm eternally grateful for that. So, like, if the sum up today's thing is the bad or the ugly. The ugly is mic etiquette. Please don't eat with goddamn food. No, nom on the mic, please, God, please. The bad is just buy a better microphone than your onboard mic, please. Like, here, I'll give you an example. You know how, like, when you talk on speakerphone and, like, someone's like, I can't understand you because it's all... The mic on your phone is better than the mic on your laptop or computer. So, like, if people have a hard time listening to your phone, what makes you think they're going to have a good old easy-ass time listening to your computer that has a worse microphone and has to, you know, has the vibrations of the fans and the chassis and has the background sound? $20, Best Buy. And the good thing is, great table today. No complaints whatsoever. I'm completely thrilled and happy about today's games. So tomorrow we are playing Starfinder all day. So today was Pathfinder version 2. We played. Tomorrow we're playing Starfinder. Tomorrow's Starfinder games, we're playing our higher level characters. So my higher level character that I'm playing, let me open him up so that way it's easier to discuss him and talk about him. There we go. Hello, Siegfried. So little known fact is every time I start playing in a new system, one of the things I do is I back to 11-year-old Siegfried. When the first time I played Dungeons and Dragons, my first character was a paladin. It just was. And he was a stylized, better version of me. You know, like basically all my goodness and kindness, amp it up to 100 and make him a badass warrior that's there to protect people. You know, that's literally the cut definition of Siegfried. And so in every system, when I'm playing like a home game, so like if I was playing at someone's house, like someone's like, "Hey Sig, wanna play in my home game?" First thing I do is I build a Siegfried. Just how it is. In Pathfinder Society, when I first started playing Pathfinder Society, my -1 was Siegfried. For Starfinder Society, I built a Siegfried. Even though there's no paladins in Starfinder or battle lords or all these other systems, like I build the closest proximity I can to a Siegfried. And so Siegfried for Starfinder that's coming up is he's 5th level. He's a soldier for 1 level because getting heavy armor is a good thing, and being able to move faster for free is good also. And the rest of it's all in Solarians. Solarians are the worshippers of the sun and gravity and finding balance. He doesn't balance, but that's besides the fact. And so his big thing is like much like most of the Siegfrieds, he's a face character. He's built for diplomacy, intimidation, bluffing his way through things. He's 100% built to be a face of the group, much like the one guy was the face today. That's what he's built for. Unfortunately, when there's starship combat, there is only one position he can be in, and that's it. He's done at that point. There's nothing else he can do. And that's just the nature of starship combat. Starship combat has the big flaw of if you are playing a melee-based character that puts all your points in strength and con, then you can't gun because you have no dex. You can't pilot because you have no dex. I guess you could take like engineering and stuff like that, but you're not going to have the int and all that to be able to feed those. And so it's like there's no spot for you. Where everyone else who has guns will have like 18, 20 decks. And so it's just like, oh, okay, so yeah, they're good gunners, they're good this. Melee characters have a really rough spot. So thankfully, and the other ones that had a rough spot were mystics, because there was no spot for them either. You know, like there's skill groups. None of it was Starship. So thankfully, in their most recent patch to Starship Combat, they did add 2 new roles for people that are either physical or mystic and can't do anything else on the ship. And it's just, they're glorified aid positions where basically you go into the position and you can give out pluses to people as you aid them in their jobs. You know, but that doesn't help the fact that you need to have several people on guns to be able to shoot the starship down. So if you have too many people that are captains and aides, you don't have enough people that are on the guns, you're still going to lose. You can have all the pluses you want, but if you don't have people to shoot the guns, you lose. I would rather have a shitty pilot and have that shitty pilot be on guns and be a great gunner than have a great pilot and a shitty gunner. Because we've learned that the shitty gunner will miss, and all the combat actions up to the gunner phase doesn't matter anymore. Because if you miss, all of it was for naught. You know, it really is feel that way. So like, that's why myself and my group of friends, when it comes to Starfinder, we're not 100% sold on Starship Combat. Starship Combat just feels very clunky. My suggestion I had, which I told SimDoc about it, I haven't told Ian, but it's a real simple fix. So if you play the game FTL is spaceship combat. Now, it's not, you're not actually moving your ship or anything like that because everything's automated. It's like, all right, you have an evasion of this and stuff like that. If you played FTL before, you'll understand what I'm talking about. If not, just follow me here. There's 3 ways that you can defeat another ship. Number 1 is blow it out of the water, which is basically what Starship Combat is just blowing the other ship out of the water before it blows you out of the water. The second one is boarding, where you literally just go to the other ship and attempt to kill everyone on the ship, because once you kill everyone on the other ship, guess what they can't do? They can't shoot at you anymore. Makes sense, right? And so that's why, like, a part of me wishes that all Starfinder has to do to make people like me happy with Starship Combat is just make Starship Combat have a secondary option, which is boarding party. And so just second map, ship interior, go inside, and just fight a bunch of people inside the ship. I think that would be cool, because then, like, that gives you the option of, if you're playing with a group that isn't built or designed to deal with Starship Combat, but could do really well on foot, there's no reason why they would ever just sit in the ship and be like, yeah, we're going to keep fire. The first thing they would do, they would jam themselves up against that other ship and board. Because they're like, we're not going to be able to shoot it down. We're not going to be able to outpilot. We're not designed for this. You know, they would go, all right, so let's board it. So, like, that was my suggestion. I know. I know SimDoc stated on the forums, his thing was just make all Starship Combat optional. But I already know the issue that would come with that is the second they make everything optional, they have to include another combat. They have to. So instead of just making it optional, just make it like side optional, where you could choose to do Starship Combat if your party is built for it, or you can go boarding. You know, I think by adding that would add that extra dynamic that would make Starfinder much better. Because right now, as it sits, Starship Combat and me just... Because I'm playing a Solarian, a melee Solarian soldier. I have nowhere to sit on this ship other than the captain's seat. And now I have, I think it's called the Marksman or something like that. I forget what the new position called is. Positions, Starfinder. Here we go. So you have... Oh, Chief Mate. So the Chief Mate allows you to, like, basically aid actions on everyone else. So, like, I'm allowed to, like, roll, I think it's acrobatics or athletics, one or the other. And if I succeed, I get to boost anyone else's actions. So my only 2 roles I can be part of is Captain, which allows me to boost everyone's position, or Chief Mate, which allows me to boost everyone. Not really much of a choice, you know. So at the end of the day, that's where I'm stuck at. And so I am appreciative that they added the Chief Mate, because without the Chief Mate position, I am completely useless. So, like, here we go. So it's like the Chief Mate. I can tell during the home phase, I can push. And if I push the pilot, I can get him to do 1 extra turn. If I push the maintenance panel, you could divert 2 systems instead of 1. Or you can overpower 2 systems instead of 1, stuff like that, and like each section has its own thing that you can add to, but like at the end of the day, the captain does the same exact thing. So it's like the chief mate didn't add anything to me, but I lucked out because I know there's melee Solarian soldiers out there who don't have any charisma, and so like they don't have these face traits, and they're just like landlocked, with like nothing to do. And so at least they have the chief mate position now. So that's my thing. Is just like I appreciate them adding it, but at the same point, when it comes to starship combat, I wish all they have to do is just make it a choice of how do you want to take the ship down. Do you want to take it down internally and board the ship, or do you want to fight ship to ship? And so that way the team can look at each other, go, what do we got? What positions do we have? Do we want to do this? Yes or no? And if the answer is yes, then you fight ship to ship. If the answer is no, then it becomes, all right, we board the other ship and we beat the shit out of them. And who knows? Maybe make the ship to ship, not the ship to ship, the boarding a little bit harder than the ship to ship, because you got to remember, you got to give a give and take. So like make the inside just a little harder, so that way your players get beaten up a little bit more. So that way it's not just so easy that you just roll over them. You get on board, you just like smash them, kill 4 people, and it's over, and you're just like, yep, we're good. We took no damage. Have a nice day. It's like, no, just add just that hint of little bit harder. So like if the ship combat is supposed to be level 7 hard, make the boarding party level 8 hard. Just that like a little hint harder. No, I'm not talking about 2 or 3 harder. I'm just one little baby step harder. So that way like it makes people think of, okay, we could board, but there's a little bit greater risk of injury to each of us. Or we could just fight the ship to ship. Give people the choice. I think it'd be cool. So that's tomorrow. Tomorrow we're playing Starfinder. I'm playing Siegfried, my soldier Solarian, the entire day. So a little background on him. He is a Solarian. He is the Lashunta. Lashuntas are the one of the telepathic races. So that's his whole thing. He's telepathic. His theme, which is the same in Pathfinder 2, they call it background. In Starfinder, they call it theme. So his theme is he's a temperate pilgrim. So he's been on a pilgrimage and trying to learn about all these different societies and groups and everything. So that way he can get a better understanding of the universe. I am playing a Solarian. Solarians are trying to understand the universe, so it only makes sense to also try and understand its people and get a greater knowledge of its people. And now, as I said, he is 100% a melee Solarian, so he's a very in-your-face, I'm gonna fight you now here in your face. Whereas in my character I'm playing on Saturday, my Saturday character, you wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna explain the Saturday character. I don't want to explain him now because I'm so happy with him. So happy. Like I was building him today with SimDoc on the line, and I was just laughing my ass off as I was building this character. And so I want to say more about it, but at the same point I want to leave it for tomorrow. So that way I gotta give myself things to talk about. And cliffhangers, I've learned cliffhangers is how you get people to keep watching, right? That's what I learned from general television. And so that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for tomorrow we'll have less of the ugly, because I don't want people like chomping on their mics. Hopefully people experiencing day one go out to Best Buy in the morning, get that $20 headphone. But the big thing is it's going to come down to, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people who don't, just for the simple fact of they don't know what they sound like. I think if most people knew what they sounded like on an audio program, they'd probably spend the $20. And then hopefully I have 2 more good groups because we have the 2 slots tomorrow. So I'm hoping to have 2 more really, really good groups of really cool guys. Hopefully no rules lawyering, no bullshit like that. Because again, that is my greatest fear, is a rules lawyer. Rules lawyers are the worst. They are the ones that are the destroyer of the fun, the destroyer of dreams. You know, like you're there to have a good time, and the rules lawyer comes out with the 7-pound book, you know, bag full of, like, the 70-pound book bag. He slaps it on the table, and then, like, the GM will make a call, and the first thing he does is open his backpack and pull a book out and turns to page 397, and then goes, look right here on this subsection of this little piece of this little part of this little thing. This means this, and then you this, and GM's like, oh no, it doesn't work that way this time, but it says right here. And little does he know, behind the scenes, something else is happening that makes that table completely invalid. I'm hoping we have another 2 groups with no rules lawyers. My only concern is, and I don't know if it's true or not. I didn't even think to check. Let me go on to the Paizo organized play thing. Are you nitroed up or no? No. So I'm gonna say this right now. I'm kind of like sad. So what I'm sad about for this is there's a thing called boosting on the servers for Discord. And what boosting does is gives you extra server space, gives you all kinds of stuff. The biggest thing that it gives you is increased audio quality. So that way you can have clearer conversations online and so on and so forth. And so the biggest issue that I have is that, like, they only have the level 2 perks. So that means 16 people have boosted them, and they have not even made it to level 3 yet. And so, like, a part of me wishes that, like, Paizo... Oh, you need 30 boosts. So 30 boosts. How much is a boost? So it's 30 whole boosts. Let's see it right now. Alright, so for 30 boosts is $150. I really wish that Paizo would have put out the $150, because now I see what it is. Just so you guys could see it here. I'll go in desktop mode. So it's $150. I wish they would have put out the $150, because the whole reason why I say it is there are countless people playing in GMs, and so, like, I'm sure they're pulling some form of profit from this. And we're talking about $150 a month. You know, even if they only pay for it during the month that they're doing a con, you know, at the end of the day, it's still, I only see it as a plus, you know, because then you're helping the audio quality, you're increasing the data and stuff like that. And so, like, you have, holy shit, I don't even know how to tell how many users they have. I don't even know if there's a way to, like, to see it. I wish there was. I wish there was a way to, like, see how many users there are. Okay, here we go. Currently online, 1,138 people. If each person does at least one mission, which I'm sure most people are doing more than one, but if each person is doing one mission, they have made $2,280 on just people who are online right now. I'm not even talking about the people who are offline. So let's go to offline list. Go to this offline list. Offline list. Oh, you won't even let me get to the offline list. Okay. So we're still talking $2,000 that they made, right? Assuming everyone does one mission, it's $2,000, right? I know people are doing more than one mission, but we're just gonna say everyone does one mission, right? $2,000. You take 150 of that and you pump it right into the Discord server, and automatically you've now made the Discord server more stable, better bandwidth, better audio qualities. I don't see why they didn't do it. I don't understand what, like, unless they just don't know it exists. I mean, that's a possibility also. That's the only thing I can think of, is they don't know that it's a thing. Now, the fact that, like, all these other people, like 16 people have currently boosted the server. So 16 other people have attempted to, like, boost this up, you know? And so, like, I don't know, I just wish they would have, like, taken some of that money and put it back. Now, I don't know, I brought this up the other day. I don't know if they're paying D20 or not. So I don't want to, like, speculate one way or another. But what I will say is, if they're not paying D20, they really should. And they should have come up with some kind of system or something in place. So, like, for instance, one of the biggest problems that we have right now is in D20, when you're trying to put your character in, it's very, very cumbersome. And one of the options that they have is importing your character. Now, I could pay D20 $5. I could pay them $5 to be able to import my character. And make my life easier. But it's another one of those things, like, I feel like Paizo should have went to D20 and said, listen, I want to throw some money at you. How much to make a table that I own as Pathfinder Society? How much would it cost to make that table everyone can import? Now, again, I don't know if they are or not paying D20 money, but, like, I feel like that should have been a conversation that happened between them. Now, whether or not it is possible or not, I don't know. But it's something I wish there was there. Because, again, just online people, there's 1,140 people. Assuming every person does one, it's $2,280. I'm sure friggin' whatchamacallit. I'm sure D20 would appreciate it, $1,000 check, you know, for their uses of their server and their uses of their programs. Who knows? But again, PFS might be already paying them, so I don't know. I can't speculate, but if they're not, they should be. And if they are, good job. I just wish you would have gotten more bang for your buck. You know, like, allow your players to import onto one of your events. But again, much like Discord, they might not know this is a thing. They might not know it's an issue. They might not realize how cumbersome it is. I mean, let me see if I can show you real quick. I recently closed. So this is D20. I can't scroll down because there's a link down here. So what you do basically is, when you go in here, you go over to your character. Oops, wrong one. Click on your character, and basically you go into your character sheet, and you have to start manually inputting everything. But the problem is, it throws numbers off. So like for instance, I pump my stuff in. I can tell you right now my stamina and hit points are not 50 and 50. But for some reason this system was like, yeah, you're 50 and 50. I could tell you that my fort and will save are off. They're actually one higher on each. Another issue that they have is like, oh, where's it at? They don't have a way of on here. So like for instance, I have a +3 to perception. Right? I have a +3 to perception. So even if I put my... No, this is not perception for him. It's, where's my character sheet? Diplomacy. Diplomacy and Intimidate are the ones I have too. Right? So here's Diplomacy. Here's Intimidate. They're at 11. But I'm supposed to have 2 more. Problem is when you go in here, there's no way to add this +2. And so I know that their whole thing that they want me to be able to do is be able to just click on Diplomacy, and then what'll happen is they'll pop it up in this chat log. You see how like it has culture check 23. That's what it wants. Or, you know, like if you mouse over it, it'll actually like tell you what it rolled. You know, so it's like, oh, D20 +5 plus in class. You know, like it does all the math for you, right? I know that's what they want, but the problem is like there's no way. So is the only way that I do it is if like I were to just go, all right, well this is 7 now, and this is 7. Is this my only workaround at that point? And it's just very cumbersome. And now here's the thing: I'm playing this character twice tomorrow, so now I have to sit here in this entire mission. So this is one mission, right? This is the last bite. In this mission, I'm nowhere even near completing that form. I have to finish that whole thing and then log into a different D20 forum and do it again. Unless I pay $5 that allows me to upload my own character. So, like, that's my only gripe. Is, like, a part of me feels like Paizo and D20 could have gotten together and tried to come up with a much better system for this than what they currently have. But then again, they might have tried it and just D20 might not be big enough to be able to handle this kind of influx. Maybe, you know, I don't know the intricacies, but I could tell you that my Pathfinder game today, I was not able to put all my character information in. And so I just was doing /roll 1d20 plus and just adding my stuff in myself, you know, because it was easier that way. I was just like, you know what, it's just, I type fast enough. I could just, why am I even going to bother with, because I have my character sheet. I have, like you just saw, my character sheet's done, you know. So it's just like, that's where things sit. Is just like, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. And so at the end of the day, I just wish it was less cumbersome. So now I know the easy answer is, Sig, just pay the $5 and then you can just upload and make your life easier. But I'm already going out money to be able to participate in some of these tables. So like, I don't feel like I should have to pay more to be able to use your program. So far, GM number 1 was cool with me doing the /roll. If GM number 2 is not, I don't know what I'm going to do. Because most of that shit I can't put in the system. It won't let me. You know, so I've just... whatever. I'm just going to play it by ear tomorrow. That's my easiest bet. So yeah, that's tomorrow. Tomorrow is Starfinder all day. We're playing Siegfried tomorrow. Hopefully it runs smoothly. Hopefully it runs like today. Hopefully no rules lawyers. Hopefully no bullshit. And hopefully a good fun time. Today, unfortunately, Sir Ian was unable to join us because just table was filled by the time we were able to get into it. So we were able to get him a seat. But tomorrow, it's Sir Ian, Simdoc, and myself. are doing the morning and afternoon shift. Then at 7 o'clock, that's right around 7, 8 o'clock, we should be done. And then I have to do upgrades and updates for Saturday. So on Saturday, I think we're doing one Pathfinder game. Yeah, we're doing a Starfinder game in the morning. And then we're doing a Pathfinder game in the afternoon. And then, but the big thing is tomorrow night when we talk about this, it will be after Gen Con Day 2, and we will have experienced at that point the Starfinder special. Now, these are awesome. If it runs how all the specials are supposed to run, it's going to be badass. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I hope it does. And hopefully I'll have a review of the special online version versus in-person person. Because who knows, maybe if online specials work, maybe this might be the wave of the future to be able to, like, if you can't make it to Gen Con or PaizoCon, maybe this is the way that you can have a special go on and be able to see one of those events, you know, live. I think it'd be cool. But other than that, guys, I think, unfortunately, I'm going to be calling it here because I do have to wake up early in the morning, make sure my characters are set for tomorrow. Hopefully you enjoyed this look into the Gen Con Day 1 first slice. Tomorrow we'll talk about tomorrow's events, everything we went through. Hopefully we'll have a new good, bad, or ugly of the event. And hopefully it's not the same Doritos bad Mike. And, but the good, I want the good to stay the same. I want no rules lawyers. For the love of all that is holy, please, no rules lawyers. So other than that, guys, I'm going to start heading to bed. We're going to do our ending credits. We're going to thank some people. If you are new, make sure you mouse over to the follow or the subscribe. It is much appreciated if you hit those buttons. Other than that, guys, let's do the outro. Let's thank some people and let's get the hell out of Dodge. Outro, please. The ending credit music is brought to you by Electromina. The name of the song is Summer Vibes. If you enjoy their music, make sure you look them up on Spotify or YouTube. Their music is free to listen to, free to download, and if you enjoy the music, make sure you support the artists. The badasses for having their entire catalog out there for free. Also, support your local and online artists. Don't just go to the store and buy some bullshit-ass copy pasta and hang it up on your wall. One can tell local or online artists, have them make something original for you. That way you can support the local and online arts and not some bullshit-ass Xerox printed copy of the same damn thing. Also, I want to say thank you to Pyro Pixie, Lavi Fur, Bluga Mom. Thank you guys so much for the host. It is truly mega ultra appreciated. And this is for all you guys this evening.
Shorty, you the best. You the best.
And finally, a big shout out to the Bully Free Twitch Network. The Bully Free Twitch Network is channels much like my own, where you can go enjoy yourself and not have to about ask goblins during your fun, because that's how they have fun. If those are channels that you enjoy, make sure you look for the hashtag Bully Free Twitch on Twitter. Give some love. Tell them I sent you. But guys, if you're going to bed much like me, sleep well and sweet dreams. But if you're planning to stay up and play some more games, whether it's League of Legends, Dota,
World of Warcraft,
Final Fantasy, Pokemon, or any other games that are out there, have fun, because at the end of the day, it's a game. And that's what it's all about, is having fun. And with that, I'm going to bring episode 1064, End of Gen Con Online, Day 1, to a close. It has been a successful first day. I look forward to tomorrow and sharing my experiences with Gen Con Online Day 2 with you when we get there. Until then, guys, have a great rest of your morning, evening, and night. You guys are everywhere. I'm here, but have a great rest of your evening if I don't see you. Until then, guys, have a great rest of your evening. Good night, everyone. Button! Button. Ah!